and be recognized for your questions. Ms. Spartz, there you are. You're now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it's a very important conversation, and I appreciate we having this conversation. As a legal immigrant myself, I truly believe we have a lot of work to improve our legal immigration system, improve our legal infrastructure, and also looking how we can really streamline some of these policies that better serve our country and provide less bureaucracy, including maybe some visas policy and work visa policies. There is a lot of work to do in this area, but it's also important that we have a secure border with, we have a border policy and an issue with national security. So I think it's important for us to have this conversation. So it seems to me that we don't have it very often, and we don't have in a productive way. So hopefully our committee can work on that, because it's not a, you cannot resolve all of this with really just, doing one bill. So my question is going to be related to, really, I can ask, several of, and if any can volunteer from our panel people, what is there are some things you believe that Republicans and Democrats can agree on that we can provide streamline legal immigration system and provide border security and national security on the border? Is there any things we can find a common ground, or we can never? Because it seems like I am frustrated as a lot of people. We've been discussing for years, and I'm sure Madam Chair has been on this committee for a long time, but nothing happens. And we keep discussing, and I'll be honest with you, what's happening on the border, it breaks my heart. It's very disturbing situation, and it didn't happen overnight, but it's escalated recently. So we have to have good policy. We have to be able to work as a branch, and then work and put pressure on executive branch to actually, get stuff done and work with us. So anyone on the committee wants to mention just quickly, what do you think? Do you think there is a hope that something can be done?
Ms. Spartz, if I could interrupt, last Congress, 365 members of the House voted to make adjustments on the per country cap limitation, not to eliminate it completely. It was a huge bipartisan vote in the House, and the Senate kind of mucked it up. But that was an example of bipartisan effort. Mr. Buck was the principal
and then maybe we need to work better with the Senate. And I have a beef that Senate always rules the show, right? And I have a problem. We should be. We actually represented the people. They represent the state. But I don't know. We have Mr. Law. He's worked a lot of policy issues. Do you want to mention something? Do you think there is something that actually can happen and go through the Senate too, and be signed by the president?
Yes, thank you.
Well, you can start it.
Yes, thank you. Well, first off, we should absolutely fix the TVPRA and Flores settlement loopholes in the law. Even President Obama back in 2014 pleaded with Congress to do that, and Congress failed to act. If we do not enforce our laws and remove the incentives for economic migrants and other vulnerable people to put themselves in harm's way through coyotes and drug cartels to come here when they don't have a mechanism other than just coming across the border, we've got to stop that. We've got to cut off this link to the cartels. And unfortunately, regarding the per country caps, while yes, it did pass with a broad bipartisan support, I think there's fundamental misunderstanding about what that bill does. It would be a train wreck to the legal immigration system. And frankly, it would reward those in the tech industry in particular who have replaced and displaced American workers by utilizing the H-1B program first, which does not require you to actually seek out Americans first. And then they only petition for Indian males to overload the system because there is no per country cap on H-1B. Congress confused the whole system by creating this concept of dual intent, where you can have both non-immigrant, meaning temporary, and immigrant, meaning permanent intent at the same time. The blending of those two things together has unfortunately created a mess that is too often just destroying the system. And frankly, that is why the per country caps are in place. We need to have clear distinctions between permanent immigration and temporary immigration, which is why things like alien and immigrant are important legal terms, because those distinctions matter very much.
Chairman, we're out of time. I yield back. If you have a second, if you can mention just something quickly. And Madam Chair, if she allows me a couple seconds.
Of course. The gentlelady yields back. I appreciate her question, and we now turn to Ms. Garcia.